as many of you have kind of, I think, realized, we've got a wonderful group of Israeli entrepreneurs, investors here this time, and we're going to ask Ohad Zuckerman. I think it's your first time that you've come to an FTE, Ohad. Ohad's a fascinating entrepreneur and investor. First noticed that you're pioneering work in investing in the food innovation ecosystem, and that's what I wanted you to speak about. But also don't go quickly over your background, because you've got a really fascinating background. Would you please welcome Ohad Zuckerman?
Hello, good afternoon. All right, so
you've got a fan club. You've got a fan club.
Yeah, I'm from Israel. Actually, my grandfather immigrated to Israel in 1882, and my grandfather and father were born in Israel. So I'm a fourth generation. All of them were farmers, and this is how I fell in love with agriculture and with all the food system. I went to study agronomy, and after that I started to work in a company that my father founded in 1952 when he's 26 years old, which means he was also an entrepreneur. And we grew the company, and eventually we got to a stage that we had got to a junction, and we decided to sell the company. And I'm very happy that I have the first opportunity to thank publicly someone that helped us sell the company, Mr. Ron Lubash. He was then one of the founders and managing partners at Markstone, a private equity fund that bought a company, and together with Solito Syngenta, I stayed there a few months, and then I felt that I'm in a golden cage, and I decided to move back to entrepreneurship. I started to work in aquaculture, and in 2014, I got to a situation and said, well, there are so many entrepreneurs there. Maybe I have to move to the other side, to the investor side, and help them fulfill their dreams like I had the chance to fulfill mine. And this is how I joined COPIA. But before telling you about COPIA, I'll tell you a bit about Israel and about the crisis that we are all facing. So let's see if it works. Yes, it does. So, as you understand, everybody knows, I'm not going to talk about it too much. We are facing a huge crisis in the world. It's climate change, which leads to the global food security, food safety, environmental degradation. All the newspapers are full with that. And there's one answer to that, which is technology. This is the answer. Now, when you come to technology, Israel, a very tiny country, is a hub for amazing technologies, but not only in agriculture. Doesn't work? Oh, yes, here we are. A moment. Oh, so it goes slowly. Biotech, seeds, dairy, poultry, desert agriculture, aquaculture, everything. And the amazing thing is that it's not only agriculture. We're talking about lots of other inventions, like solar windows, the firewall technology, Pilcom. I don't know if you know all of them, but all of them came from Israel. And there is a reason behind it. I'm not going to tell you all about it, just to tell you that we have a very good ecosystem. Just in agri-food, we have 637 small startups in agri and in food. And they are backed up by angels, by venture capital funds, by the Israeli Innovation Authority, by private equity funds. And there is a full ecosystem that now built up around this. And agri-food became one of the main sectors in Israel again after high-tech took its place. But we are now coming back. You can all read about it in a book which is called Startup Nation. I'm not going to tell you everything about it, but it's really a very good book that explains how Israel became the startup nation. But let me tell you a little bit about what I'm trying to do and why. So as you know, Israel is a small country. We don't have too much land. We don't have too much water. However, we are a nation that has very good research institutions and universities. And we have a lot of immigrants that came from many countries with very good knowledge. And when you couple this with a very strong leadership in the agricultural sector, you can find companies that really did very good job in bringing agriculture technologies to the world. Companies that brought drip irrigation, seeds, fertilization, crop protection. Everything starts with universities. And so COPIA is a venture capital fund that captured on this innovation and on this investment of the country. We are a fund that has a very unique model. We combine investment in startup companies as well as in projects that originate from Israeli research institutions and universities. We do really cherry picking. We look for a project that can be developed into products and processes that improve sustainability across the food supply chain, from the genetics to the plate. And what we do with this kind of project, we build a company around these technologies. It could be a real company with people, but it also can be a special purpose company. No people, no offices, no cars, nothing. Just a vehicle to hold the license to develop the technology. In Israel, all the licenses must belong to the institutions, either government or not, but they can give this special purpose company the global exclusive license to develop, commercialize, and later on sell these technologies. So we have a very unique combined model. Most of these VCs I know invest in startups, but we have a combined model and we can put our hands in a very early stage after proof of concept. However, what we do, we team up with companies from the relevant verticals to do the development. So we finance the research in these institutions, and they, in-kind investment, they do the development. We have a very clear definition what R is and what D is, and we split the work very well. And this way, we can very quickly bring the technologies into fruition. Now, we have today 17 investment, 15 projects in different 7 institutions in Israel, and 2 startup companies. And we are doing that in a very smart way because it's a lean organization, we're a small fund. So we, as partners, managing partners, we manage part of the projects, but we have project leaders, 5 of them that manage daily the projects and report to us on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. These are all freelancers, experts in their domain, and they do the work together with us. So we are 5 partners, 2 managing partners, 3 founding partners that are only on the investment committee and the board of the fund, 1 CFO, and that's it. A very small fund, but very efficient one. And our vision is really to contribute to sustainability by developing technologies into viable products. And it's all in agri-food. We don't do anything else. Now, everything we do, we try to really mitigate the challenges that are global. Climate change, food security, environmental degradations, and we have very clear parameters according to which we know that we contribute to them. And these things are very important because you can say that you do it, but you have to explain how. So every technology is doing either one or more of these parameters, and they are all correspond to the SDG goals of the United Nations. Now, our secret sauce is that we speak 2 languages. I'm an agronomist by profession. I speak with the scientists in their language, but I also come from the business. So I speak both languages, so are my partners. And basically, this is something that not everybody can do, because the scientists will speak about genes and about bacteria, and the business people will speak about profits and market segmentation. And these 2 languages, it's just like the Tower of Babylon. So we speak both, and we are able to really bridge this gap and act as a bridge between academia and business. And we have a very good methodology to do it. I won't do it now because time is limited. I'll be happy to explain later on. So people think, oh, you're going to invest in R&D. That's very, very, very dangerous. But it's not so dangerous because it's more or less like round A. We come off the proof of concept. The institution has invested few years, a lot of money to bring this to proof of concept. Okay, we don't pay for that. And then our industrial partner invests in the development. We don't pay for that. So we pay a very small amount, but we hold the global exclusive license to commercialize the technology, develop it, and sell it later on. And what we do, we are making sure that the scientists work exactly according to what the industry needs, because we prepare together with the industrial partner a very good product or process profile, so the scientists will work exactly on that. And this is a very important thing. So today, come on. We're working with very interesting companies around the world, from United States, from Israel, of course, from Germany, from Japan. And we work with 7 institutions. And the model is beautiful because everybody does what they know to do. The academia coming with innovation. The industry, they come with market focus, development, and commercialization. And we manage and orchestrate the whole process. And it works very well. We have a WhatsApp group for every project. We know exactly what's going on all the time. People communicating. And when they have some issues of misunderstanding, we bridge the gap. So, one moment. I'll give you some examples, okay, if the time will permit. So PostBoost is a company that we established in 2018 after we saw something in a Petri dish. Today, it is being in registration as a product in South Africa and in Thailand. The product is a magic thing. It's an amino acid. Depending when you spray it and where you spray it on the plant, it can be a crop protection product, and it can also be a product that prolongs the shelf life of harvested fruits and vegetables. I will be very, very short. I will not describe exactly everything. Superfruiter. So, by the way, PostBoost is replacing chemicals with biologicals. Okay? Superfruiter is a company that breeds melons. Melons with microseeds that you can eat, and some of them are also with a peel that you can eat. So we're talking about less waste here and convenience for the consumer. Top hen. Do you know that when growers grow hens for laying eggs, they kill 50% of the chicks, the males? That's terrible, a part of the environmental issue. We are now working on breeding a hen that will lay only female chicks, which means you will not have to kill any chick and nothing is going to be thrown away. It's a different variety, it's a different strain. The males are not big, there is a different strain for meat. And then they kill the females. Okay? Terrible. C-Genix. C-Genix is a really revolutionary one. We are breeding, this is a platform technology to breed crops resistant to rice, to salinity, starting with rice. Imagine you can grow rice on seawater. This is dramatic. Clarity. Clarity is very nice. I see that everybody here likes wine. Rosé wine and white wine, they are clear, right? There has a process that there's a flocculation of all the proteins and all the colors and everything. We have a material, a magic one, does things, the same thing in hours instead of days, and leaves only 2% waste instead of 14. That's an amazing thing against waste. WonderCoat. Do you have coffee before with the cups there? You know these cups are not recyclable. The material inside is not recyclable. We developed, this is from Vulcani Center, not we. It's a new film coat, which is water resistant, bacteria resistant, and recyclable. It's not only for this cup, it's also for all food packaging that is, for example, in the refrigerator. Farmsy is a company that deals with something which is not kosher, which pigs. And pigs are grown today in technologies that are really backwards if you compare it to cattle. And the pig growers have to send the pigs to slaughterhouses in a certain weight. But if you grow 5 million a year, you can't really do it. You cannot really know the weight of every pig. So the growers send them usually underweight, lose a lot of money. And for this, they have to go into the pen. And then the pigs get under stress, and they also get diseases. So it's a really terrible thing. Very simple technology coming from high tech. A camera above the pen takes a picture of every pig every time, all the time, and with 98% accuracy can tell you the weight of the pig from the picture. They took zillions of pictures of pigs that they also weighted. They created an algorithm, and today 98% they know don't have to go into the pen at all. More money for everybody, and the slaughterhouse is happy because they get the pig in the right weight, which correlates to the ratio between meat and fat, which relates to the products. The last one is my favorite one. It's called To Be. You know, the bees all over the world are disappearing. And about 25 to 50% of the hives are replaced every year. And there is a mite that sits on the bee when it goes out of the hive and comes in and spreads viruses that just destroy the whole hive. And you cannot fight the viruses, you have to fight the mite. Until today, they use strips with some chemical that was in the hive. The bees were going around, touching it. The mites on the bees touched it too, and they died. But it was in very low concentration, so there won't be any residues in the honey. They did not succeed. There are today residues in the honey, and the mites developed resistance. So To Be developed a very interesting device. I will not go into the details, that in a very, very specific protocol that the company developed, emits the same material in very, very short and small drops is in fumigation. And so the mites breathe it. It's not by touch. And since it's very high concentration, they die after 2 weeks. 98% of the mites are dead, and the hive stays clean. The company already started selling in Israel. Now they have very good results in the States, in Spain, in Korea. All of this is a really dramatic thing, because this is not only the honey, it's pollination. And a third of our food is pollinated by bees. So these are just examples of the 17. We're raising funds for all these companies. If somebody's interested in them, let me know. However, I'm here not only because of this. I'm here because of the fact that we already deployed 80% of COPIA 1, and we are now raising funds for COPIA 2. And COPIA 2, if you can see, had some facelifting. First of all, we changed the slogan from funding sustainable technologies into the agri-food venturepreneurs, because we are actually the entrepreneurs. And the wording is a bit different. I hope that you like it. And this fund is going to be doing exactly the same like COPIA 1, but it's going to be bigger. We're aiming at $60 to $80 million. And it will invest also outside of Israel, not only in Israel. Because when we started, this agri-food industry wasn't so developed. Now it's very developed globally, and we can see synergies between things in different countries, because the scientists and the startups, they all work on the same challenges eventually. And if we can take 1 + 1 and make more than 2, that would be a good thing to do. So that's the end of my presentation. I don't know how long it took. I did try to stay in 20 minutes.
Really good.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Really superb, and track record of achievement and so forth is immense. And I think Theo and I want to talk to you about joining forces with the EcoSquared platform too. So, but questions for Ohad on what he's doing? Questions? Yes, please, Dr. Anna.
The seawater. Can you tell more about this crops that can grow in salt?
Well,
It's
we
amazing.
already have a proof of concept in the lab with the model plant, which is called Arabidopsis. And the technology that is being used is gene editing, okay? And we have done trials with a lot of genes. The scientists have a very good technology to narrow down. They're now narrowing from 100 more. So now once we get to something like between 20 to 40, then we'll start to integrate them into rice. Some of them are regular genes, some regulatory genes, and we hope that we will find the way to do it. And the source is from plants that are from the sea. So there was a very big work that was done to compare the genomes, and some of these genes were found, and this is what we're working on.
Wonderful presentation, absolutely wonderful. We touched upon it on the boat last about a question, and we were debating about the culture of the way farmers, through generations of generations, and the adoption of a new way of working using technology. And do you think that clash is a hurdle? And if it is a hurdle, then what's the solution to kind of get over that hurdle? I'd like to know
That's a
that.
great question. Thank you so much. Yes. So first of all, we try to invest in technologies that will not force the farmers to change the way they work today. It will be easy for them to adopt. We see a lot of what is called today precision agriculture, technologies that show the growers how to be better, nitrogen management, pest control, weed control. Each one of these companies tell the grower that they will increase his yield by 20%, okay? And he will have to pay a small amount. And I'm thinking about the poor plant that needs to carry 300% yield more, which is impossible, and the full farmer that needs to pay all these companies and also needs to get many information all the time, messages about everything. So in this fund, we decided not to go for that. We believe that in the future, there will be 4 or 5 big companies that will integrate all these kinds of information into very simple kind of information or message to what the farmer needs to do in order to get better. Because there is real merit in this technologies, but I think that it's still a jungle and it's not really organized. So in the next fund, we will try to look at it, and we believe that it's not going to be easy to have the best of breed found, but we will believe we will. And I see a lot of struggles with these young companies that are now in this market. You know, people sit in the office, young guys, smart guys, but they never saw a plant in their life. And they tell the grower, who is already 5th generation, he knows every corner in his field, what he needs to do, and you don't know what you do, we know better. It's very challenging, so I think it's a bit early, but when the time comes, it will bring a lot of profits, yes, for sure.
Ohad, you are just a consummate operator, and that's just such a good set of credentials for being a great investor. Would you please thank Ohad Zuckerman?
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Awesome.